Hello everybody, Moarhammer here, and I've got another battle report for you. This is a 2,000 point battle, my Arcanites of Tzeentch against a Nighthaunt army, which is quite cool. It's the first time I played the Nighthaunts as they are in the General's Handbook 2017, so I'll jump straight into it. If you want to see what the army lists are, I'll put them in the video description below, so you can check them out there, and I'll get straight into the action. So, here's a picture of deployment, and he's got very little on the board. As you might expect, he puts most of his stuff. So he's got 2 units of 6 spirit hosts, unit of Hexwraiths, the Mourngul, all go into the spirit realm. He's got enough summoning points to summon 2 units of Morghast, and he's got a Cairn Wraith and an Arkhan the Black, which are the only things that deploy on the board. So you can see Arkhan sort of top left hand side, kind of fairly obvious where he is, and then you've got the Cairn Wraith is the other thing deployed on the board. He was behind that tower just on the right hand side there. You can barely see him, but that's because he was hiding out. You know, actually I think he had a Tomb Banshee as well. I think the Tomb Banshee was behind the tower, and the Cairn Wraith was in the middle, in that kind of desert tree bit. You can just see him behind a tree, just to the right of Arkhan the Black. But either way, he's got 2 characters on the board plus Arkhan and a boatload of stuff in reserve. I decide to just utterly bunker up because I don't want to get the things I didn't want to get in combat too quickly. So I've got a big block of 30 Tzaangor in the middle. My Gaunt Summoner kind of sat in the centre there, flanked by 2 units of 10 Kairic Acolytes. Behind that big block of Tzaangor are the 9 Skyfires with the Tzaangor Shaman. Then just on the right hand side near the Kairic Acolytes, I've got my Magister, and on the left hand side near the Kairic Acolytes, I've got my Fatemaster, and he is my general. So because I've got sort of 4 or 5 drops, I decided to let him go first because I was happy with my bunker. I didn't want anything to get out of hand too fast. I wanted to see what he was going to do, and this is what he does. He manages to summon 2 units of Arcai with Arkhan, just dumps them 9 inches, a little bit. He couldn't quite get them 9 inches away because he did deploy very conservatively because he didn't want to get Skyfired turn 1, so he couldn't get them quite as close as he wanted. But they have got a 3d6 charge, I believe. Other than that, the Mourngul and 1 unit of 6 spirit hosts turn up, and they kind of go on the right hand side, and the Mourngul 9 inches away towards the centre-ish. So it was a bit concerning. He had a fair few charges he might have been able to get off, but fingers crossed he might fail one of them at least. So we go into the charge phase because he has no shooting, and only 1 unit of Morghast make it in, which is fantastic. I'm perfectly happy with that. They have a bit of a go at me. They kill a handful of Tzaangor, but they don't do that well. I think they kill 2 and maybe put a wound on another. He rolled a bit badly, and what have you. So I attack back and I absolutely murder them because I put my double hand weapons on the front, as you would, and they get like 4 attacks each, and they just butchered the entire unit, which is fantastic. So that's one of them out of the way already. So we go into my turn, and I do some stuff. So I largely kind of push out. I put Mystic Shield on the Tzaangor. I put Inspiring Presence on the Tzaangor. I cast a couple of spells to get some bonuses here and there. I largely want to try and take Arkhan out fairly quickly because I'm terrified of that Curse of Years going off that could wipe out either my Tzaangor or my Skyfires in one fell swoop without too much difficulty. He's done it to me before with Arkhan, so I didn't really fancy that happening with my big units. So I wanted to take him out as fast as possible. I sent some Kairic Acolytes off on the right to try and just tie up the spirit host for a little bit. Didn't need to do it for long, and I was going to put my Fatemaster against the Mourngul. I do cast a whole bunch of spells at the Mourngul. I think I ended up putting sort of 4 or 5 wounds onto him, which is a really good start, but I was hoping that my Fatemaster might be able to tie him up for a decent length of time. So my Sky in the shooting phase, my Skyfires pew pew at Arkhan the Black, and they managed to plink 6 wounds off him. Not bad. Actually, that might be 9 wounds off him, actually. Yeah, I think I put 9 wounds on him, so he's he's limping, but he's not dead, and it doesn't really stop him casting Curse of Years, which wasn't great. And I did actually fluff up my movement a little bit because I didn't get any of my characters within 18 inches of him. So if he did get it off, I couldn't even push through a spell with Destiny dice, which was a bit brown trousers time, I think. So we go into the charge phase, and my Fatemaster charges in here, and I was perfectly happy with that. And then my Tzaangor managed to make it into the unit of Arkai. I was hoping to get a really long charge, and I might be able to pile into Arkhan with one or two of them and get some attacks. I only need a handful of attacks to actually kill him, because he's only got 3 wounds left or something with a 5-up save, so he would fold like butter if I got into him, but I couldn't get into him. But I do attack the Arkai with the Tzaangor, and as you might expect, they completely hack him to pieces, no problem. So he attacks with his Mourngul, and he does absolutely no wounds, thanks to my horrific use of Destiny dice to make my saves and get them all back again. I'm a bad person, oh well. Then we go into the initiative roll, and he wins it. So again, a bit squeaky bum time, but fortunately he fails Curse of Years. He actually fails to cast it, which is fantastic. I know he's got a casting bonus, but I think that gets put down low enough through being wounded that he didn't manage to cast it, which is ideal. Other than that, he brings on some Hexwraiths that are kind of up in the forest, the sandy forest at the top, and some Spirit Hosts that just dump straight in the centre. As you can see, the central Star Strike. Did I mention we're playing Star Strike? We're playing Star Strike. Lands in the centre. You can see that the teardrop shaped thing. So that's why he puts his Spirit Hosts there, to try and start grabbing some points from that. And he also puts Mystic Shield on his the Mourngul. I wasn't concerned about it dying, but still, he gets +1 save. And the Tomb Banshee kind of moves out towards kind of the right hand side, just in case any objectives fall down around there. Which is about all his movement. Arkhan kind of shifts around quite close to the Tzaangor, but doesn't really do a whole lot. He ends up deciding to charge Arkhan in, just into that single Tzaangor here. He was able to do a little bit of damage, and I think he was kind of throwing Arkhan away here a little bit, but I think he was kind of concluded that he was going to die next turn regardless, so he might as well try and do some damage with him. Over here he charges the Hexwraiths into the Kairic Acolytes, and in they go. So he attacks first with his Mourngul, and he actually managed to get a wound through, or 2 wounds, his damage 2, through my stupid Destiny dice saves. So, well, which is okay. I can live with that. I mean, he's doing his job tying the Mourngul up, so that's great. So he did attack with Arkhan, I think, first. Didn't do anything. I attacked here, didn't do anything. He attacked with his Mourngul, did the 2 wounds, and then I attacked with my Tzaangor and murdered Arkhan the Black, which is fantastic to have him down, even if I would have had to deal with him next turn. Gets him done a turn earlier, which is fantastic. His Spirit Hosts attack here, and they managed to kill 3 Acolytes, which is fine, actually. I'm okay with that. I can take a loss of 3 Acolytes over everything else. And I had no problem passing my Battle Shock. Yeah, I passed on Battle Shock, I think. So that's okay. I think I may have had a spare Destiny dice somewhere to just put a 2 in there, so make sure I pass it. So I don't want to lose them. So we go into my turn, which is great. And I kind of just swamp all over him, to be honest. I cast some spells. I think I put another wound or 2 onto the Mourngul. But a lot of my spell casts were actually a bit too far back to do a huge amount of damage. So again, I put Mystic Shield onto the Tzaangor. Actually, I think I put it onto the Skyfires here. And my general uses his own command ability, which is you roll a dice, and then any Tzeentch unit within 9 inches can re-roll that number on the dice. It's a bit situational, but I ended up rolling like a 2 for it, so it's actually quite a good choice. So in the shooting phase, I decided to do some shooting, and I managed to shoot off the Mourngul with my Skyfires, which is fantastic. Just 9 shots, pew pew pew, all go in, finish the guy off, which is fantastic. Really good news to have him down. In the charge phase, I ended up charging the Fatemaster into the Hexwraiths, just again to kind of get him in there. Not a great choice for him, to be honest, because they do mortal wounds. That's largely where the damage output comes from, and my guy can't save mortal wounds, it's not spells, but it is what it is. Skyfires then pile into the Spirit Hosts, and I was fairly comfortable here. And then my Tzaangor into the Hexwraiths, and once again, I was very comfortable here. I'd go first with the Skyfires because I wanted to get the rerolls to hit and wound, and which is fine because I just obliterate the entire unit, as you do with Skyfires. So he attacks with his Hexwraiths, and he ends up killing another 5 of the Kairic Acolytes, which hurt a little bit because the chances were that last guy was going to flee now. I think actually I couldn't. There's nothing I could do. Their bravery 5 or 6, so he was done. But hey ho, they're only Kairic Acolytes, eh? And then I attack with my Tzaangor, and they obliterate the unit of Hexwraiths, as you might expect, because they're Tzaangor and they're awesome. And then his Cairn Wraith attack piles in and actually manages to take 2 of the Tzaangor down, which is a bit scary actually. He's only got 2 wounds apiece. He's got damage 2 weapons, so it's pretty good. So we go into that's the end of my turn. Everything's kind of gone apart from his Tomb Banshee and the Cairn Wraith and all that jazz. So we go into the initiative roll-off, and I win it, which was not a good time for him, for me to win it. Great time for me to win it, yeah, don't get me wrong. So I kind of leave my Tzaangor in the centre there to claim the objective, just kind of as they were. They weren't going to get anywhere else fast enough to make a difference at this point, so I sent my Skyfires off to the right. I was hoping to shoot off the Tomb Banshee and then get into combat with the Spirit Hosts. Unfortunately, I don't shoot off the Tomb Banshee. I think I split my fire, some into the Spirit Hosts, and some into the Banshee. I just roll a bit cack, so is what it is. Can't complain. So yeah, then I charge into the Spirit Hosts with my Skyfires, and I put my Tzaangor Shaman into the Tomb Banshee, because why the hell not? Again, I kind of fluffed my rolls here. I only actually killed 2 Spirit Hosts with all of the Hexwraiths, which was a bit sad. But I, again, can't complain too much. He attacks back with the Spirit Host, against my Skyfires and kills 1. And he also puts a wound onto my General, so he's losing wounds. But again, I'm not too concerned about it. He's done his job of dealing with a Mourngul, basically. And then over here, my Shaman attacks and does a wound onto the Tomb Banshee, which is very, very generous of him. So we go into his turn, and there's not much he can do, to be honest. He casts an Arcane Bolt on my Shaman from his Tomb Banshee, who's got the artifact. He's got the artifact of can cast a spell. Puts 2 wounds on him, not a big deal. And that's his entire hero movement phase. Everything else is tied up in combat. In the combat phase, he manages to kill another Skyfire and put a couple of wounds onto another one. And then I attack back and I kill only another Spirit Host. These Skyfires they're kind of dicey, aren't they? If they're not going first, it's really iffy whether or not they do any damage. And then between the Tomb Banshee and the Tzaangor Shaman, nothing happens. So we go into the initiative roll, and I think I win it. Yes, I win it, and the Hexwraith, the Spirit Hosts get destroyed. I can't remember if this is from spells or Skyfire shooting or Skyfire combat or a mixture of all of them, but that gets pretty soundly beaten. And then I also managed to, I think I shoot off the Tomb Banshee with something or other as well. I can't exactly remember what it was, but either way, Tomb Banshee dead, Spirit Host dead, and there are no more ghosts on the board. So there you have it. That is a major victory to the Tzeentch Arcanites, and it's a very interesting game. I really like the way the Nighthaunt work and how their their artifacts are all really cool. And I think Arkhan was a really good ally for them because he can bring in those Morghasts and get that summoning and just get some really strong ally pool of stuff you can add in, because Morghasts do seem kind of Nighthaunty because they've got the ghosty stuff going on, but all in all it's pretty solid. Unfortunately, he just had no answer for the Tzaangor, and the Tzaangor tore through 4 Morghasts and Arkhan and a bunch of Hexwraiths. They just do so much work, even more than Skyfires. I'm finding that the Skyfires are great, but the Tzaangor did the work, really. But hey ho. Alright, well, thank you very much for listening. If you want to get in contact, you can email me at morewargames@gmail.com or hit me up on Twitter at Moarhammer, or leave a comment down below. It's time for much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for another battle report.